Now at 7, a fall from grace.
Former Mayor Catherine Pugh charged for the alleged scheme involving her children's books.
There are many victims in this case. The victims are all of us.
Nearly 7 months after high-profile raids, this new development yet again rocking City Hall.
We're all heartbroken and completely disappointed.
And the people Pugh once served.
It's a shame that she chose to be so dishonest and give Baltimore a bad name.
The charges, the potential prison time, and what's next.
WJZ News at 7 starts right now.
Live from Television Hill, this is WJZ News at 7.
Catherine Pugh indicted. The former mayor of Baltimore hit with 11 federal charges, accused of enriching herself using children's books. Now, if convicted, she faces more than a century behind bars. Hello, everybody. I'm Rick Ritter.
And I'm Nicole Baker. We all know this indictment comes 7 months after the FBI raided her home, offices, and other locations, all linked to their investigation into her business dealings. WJZ has team coverage of these new developments.
And we'll begin with WJZ investigator Mike Helgren live at the federal courthouse, where Pugh will make her first court appearance less than 24 hours from now. Mike.
Rick and Nicole, some of these children's books had so many grammatical and spelling errors they couldn't even use them in city classrooms. The former mayor faces 175 years in federal prison. She's not likely to serve that much time. She is expected to turn herself in to U.S. Marshals, and no comment on any possible plea deal from the U.S. attorney tonight. Federal authorities laid out an 11-count indictment against former Baltimore Mayor Catherine Pugh, unsealed this morning, that could land her in prison for decades.
There are many victims in this case. The victims are all of us, the taxpayers and the people of Baltimore, who expect and deserve integrity from their public officials.
Pugh is accused of selling hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of her Healthy Holly children's books to enrich her political campaign and herself. According to the indictment, she lied on her tax returns in 2016, reporting $31,000 in income when she really made more than $320,000.
Mr. Herr, can you talk about the work that went into piecing all of this together, because this took years?
They do take time because there are a lot of different puzzle pieces, a lot of different payments, and a lot of different people in order to interview in order to try to fit all the puzzle pieces together.
Former Pugh aide Gary Brown Jr. is one of 2 of the former mayor's associates to enter guilty pleas. Federal authorities allege Brown helped the former mayor funnel Healthy Holly proceeds to her political campaign, disguising where the cash came from.
Is there more to come in this?
I'm not at liberty to comment at this point.
The indictment caps years of investigative work, including federal raids on City Hall and Pugh's home, which she may have to forfeit.
Ms. Pugh violated that trust and abused her position. The interests she prioritized were her own.
This is a tragedy and the last thing that our city needs.
And Pugh's attorney Steve Silverman declined to comment today. He says he'll do his talking in the courtroom. Pugh faces a judge here at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Reporting live at 7 at the federal courthouse, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
All right, Mike, thank you. Well, City Hall certainly shaken by this news. I mean, many were expecting it over the past 7 months after those FBI raids.
Paul Gessler continues our team coverage tonight with what city leaders are saying about all of this.
We are a city that is facing a crisis in trust with our citizens.
News of Catherine Pugh's indictments dropped right before Wednesday's Board of Estimates meeting at City Hall, and word spread quickly.
I'm disappointed, and like a lot of people, I'm hurt.
It's a sad day for Baltimore. We are here now to move the city forward.
At his weekly media briefing, Mayor Jack Young read a prepared statement when asked about the indictment.
We're all heartbroken and completely disappointed in today's news. I pray for former Mayor Pugh, and I'm focused on helping our city to heal.
Governor Hogan, in April, ordered the state prosecutor to open an investigation into Pugh's business dealings. After this federal indictment, Hogan said, in part, it is completely unacceptable anytime a public official violates the public trust. He went on to say, we will continue to fight hard to root out corruption and wrongdoing wherever it takes place.
For it to happen in the midst of crime that is unyielding in Baltimore City, on the heels of years of having crime, also when you had another mayor now taken out of office because of corruption, that shakes the fabric of the trust between community and its elected officials.
Young took over for Pugh in April, once she began her leave of absence. He again reiterated he did not have any idea of Pugh's alleged scheme. Wednesday, he said he was upset at the allegations in the indictment.
Anything that puts a black eye on the city makes us all angry, just like murders make me angry.
Scott and Young are both running for mayor. Other candidates released statements on Wednesday's indictment, including Thiru Vignarajah, who called it a, quote, hard day for Baltimore. TJ Smith called it an unfortunate embarrassment. To read their statements and more, go to WJZ.com. For now, reporting at City Hall, I'm Paul Gessler for WJZ.
Well, it's not just city leaders responding to all of this. The people who former Mayor Pugh served, they're also weighing in tonight. Many of them saying they're disappointed, they're frustrated, and they feel betrayed.
I think that's the greatest travesty ever committed by a politician, because the children are our future. So why use them for graft?
She get what she deserved, and just like everybody else, you do wrong, you got to pay for it.
Anytime corruption is within the government, it's something we want to kind of stamp out, and that's on the national stage right now.
Well, when announcing the charges against Pugh, the U.S. Attorney for Maryland noted that there are many victims in this case, including taxpayers and the people of Baltimore.
We wanted to take a look back at how we got here. In January 2011, then state senator and UMMS board member Catherine Pugh formed the Healthy Holly Company, publishing a series of children's books. Now, she took the oath of office as mayor of Baltimore 5 years later in December of 2016. And as mayor, Pugh continued her book deals. Now, that is until March 13th, when it went public. She resigned from the board days later. Then on April 25th, the FBI raided her home, her offices, and other locations linked to their investigation into her business dealings. And 1 week later, on May 2nd, she resigned as mayor. Stay with WJZ for complete coverage of the indictment of Catherine Pugh. We're going to bring you all the developments as we learn them here on air and online at WJZ.com.